He said, how many people are going to be there? Like 20? I said, no, there are plenty of people up here that care about that. For the past 5 years, I've had the privilege of working at Human Rights Initiative, a local nonprofit. We're Dallas-based. We serve vulnerable immigrants with free legal and social services. We have been doing this work for almost 2 decades. The agency has done this work under 4 different administrations, and I will tell you, it has always been difficult. It has gotten progressively more difficult over the last 8 years, but this past year is a new era. We're here today because we all believe that families belong together, and as my church says, immigrant rights are human rights, and those should not be violated. Unfortunately, we are currently living with an administration that does not agree with either of these statements. And the reality is that this started long before the recent atrocity of tearing children away from their parents. This administration has systematically been attacking humanitarian protections for immigrants. And I wanted to start off today just laying some foundation about that, because we are all spurred to be here today after seeing images of young children in cages and parents being torn away from them. But there's so much more going on. This is a real systematic and methodical structure that they're creating. It started with rhetoric. During the campaign season, we heard our current president talk about Mexican immigrants as rapists. He continues to use words like infestation and animals to characterize immigrants seeking asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border. And more recently, his administration removed the phrase nation of immigrants from the mission statement of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. The Department of Homeland Security continues to call claims of humanitarian protection, like asylum, loopholes in the system. But that's just talk, right? Talk doesn't hurt anybody, except here we are, and they moved to action. At the start of 2017, the president signed 2 executive orders trying to implement what he himself referred to as a ban on Muslims, an order which has now been upheld by our highest courts. But he's not working alone. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has systematically and methodically removed protections wherever he can for immigrants. He ended asylum protections for women seeking asylum on the basis of domestic violence from countries like El Salvador, where they have no protection from the police. He continues to make it as hard as possible for unaccompanied minors as young as 3 or 4 seeking special immigrant status here in the United States to have successful applications. He empowered bad immigration judges to deny asylum without hearing testimony, and he's instituted quotas on these same judges to speed up deportation proceedings. At the same time, the administration ended vital funding for legal representation for unaccompanied minors. Some of these minors are as young as 3 or 4 and are forced to go into court alone. Border Patrol began turning away asylum seekers at ports of entry. That has started last year. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, as you might know them, were given the authority to enforce deportation orders on any immigrant, regardless of if they committed a crime. They put this structure into place, and then they started instituting their new zero-tolerance policy, that any immigrant who enters this country illegally will be prosecuted. An immigrant who enters this country illegally for the first time has committed a misdemeanor. They are jailing mothers and fathers for misdemeanor and tearing their children away from them. It is an inhumane and cruel policy. And now we have over 2,000 children who have been separated from their parents and are forced to go to court alone. I mentioned they defunded legal representation for unaccompanied minors. Well, make no mistake, that was very well thought out. Now we have over 2,000 children who have been labeled as unaccompanied minors at the hands of this government who will have to go to court alone unless they're able to find agencies like ours who offer free representation. Human Rights Initiative has been doing this work for over 12 years, and we've done it with generous donations from our community and private foundations. But there's only so many of us. There are too many children walking into court alone right now when their parents should be with them. And let me just say one thing about family separation. Family separation is bad. Family detention is only one small step above family separation. It is an inhumane policy, and keep immigrants out of this country. Everything they're doing right now is leading that way. As a daughter of 2 immigrant parents who embody the American spirit, it breaks my heart to see this happen. Sorry, I'm a little emotional, as you can tell. But we cannot be deterred. We must fight these policies with everything we have, because we do believe, as I can see here, that immigrant rights are human rights and that families belong together.